Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. This is a daily podcast. Y'all know that, right? This is a daily podcast. I feel like I just recorded something last night, but I came back early this morning. It's kind of early. Voice is still a little bit scratchy, but I wanted to talk about this because I thought about this and I was like, I see a lot of coaches and gurus and strategists and whatever fancy name that we the helpers are giving to folks that are coming for advice. I see a lot of times that we're giving out blanket information and we're not really learning what people's businesses are about. And every business runs differently. Even if I do the same thing that you do, even if you have the same title that I do, both of our businesses are going to run so differently because your audience is different than my audience. The way that I interact with my audience is very different than the way you interact with your audience. I was telling a client the other day, I said, the reason why I go to a certain Starbucks is because that Starbucks knows my order every single time. They hear my voice through the drive-thru and they say, Ms. Lowe, welcome back. And they know my order. And sometimes I feel bad if I switch my order up. Oh, something new today, because I always get the same thing. So I'm like, that's so different. And it's not that the other Starbucks are not amazing and wonderful at what they do. They're all great. I've never really had bad service at Starbucks. But that particular one, and I'm in the middle of a few of them, that particular one just knows. So I'll tell you, you'll get different results. Even if you are in the same profession as your counterpart, you will both get different results. This used to make me laugh sometimes as we're talking about Starbucks. In my old neighborhood that I used to live in Maryland, I said, I don't know who did this. I don't know if it was a mistake or whatever, but we had a Safeway. Safeway is a chain supermarket in the DMV area. So there's a Safeway right across the street from where I used to live. And inside the Safeway supermarket was a Starbucks. You know how they have like a mini Starbucks like in Target, or as soon as you walk in there's like a kiosk almost sort of size Target. It's always off to the corner, So they don't necessarily have a full menu, but they do have a lot of things, So they had a Starbucks in there. Next door to the Safeway, because that neighborhood I was living in was pretty new. So they were always doing construction and adding more condos and houses and, and the stores. There was maybe like 5 or 6 stores when we first moved in there. And then turned out to be like 13 or 14 when everything was, when the whole entire, shopping area was completely filled out. So this building, we saw this brick stucco building coming. And I'm like, why does this look like a Starbucks? So we passed by there. And sure enough, in a few weeks, the sign goes up and it says Starbucks. It's a full service Starbucks. And I said, what sense does that make? You're going to have a Starbucks in the Safeway. And anybody who knows this, if y'all live in Rockville, Maryland, like on the edge of on the edge of Gaithersburg. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't even remember. It's the Falls Grove Shopping Center. I guess that's the name of the shopping center. I lived over there for like 15 years. What is it, 15? No, 10 years. I lived over there for 10 years. And that shopping center, that area has changed a whole lot. This is right across from Shady Grove Hospital. If y'all live out that way in Montgomery County, you know exactly what I'm talking about in the DMV. There is a Starbucks in the Safeway, and then right next door to the Safeway is a full-on Starbucks, full service, and a really nice one too. And I'm like, did Starbucks, what are y'all, and in my mind I'm like, what is Starbucks doing? But let me tell you something. Leaving for work in the morning, this is in my 9-to-5 days, and I would zip over there to get to the Starbucks. And let me tell you something. Each Starbucks was packed. Each Starbucks had people on lines in the morning. And one thing about the Starbucks, the full store, is that I think they opened at 5:30. The other Starbucks, I don't think they opened at 5:30, but it was also only one person working, and they also didn't have the full menu. So if you just wanted a simple coffee or a simple frap or something, whatever, tea or something, you could just go over there. But if you want your full-on menu, your plethora of sandwiches and all that kind of stuff, you go to the full service Starbucks. I didn't understand when they were both across the street, not across the street, next door to each other. You could literally come out of the full Starbucks, walk 10 paces and go into the Safeway, and the other Starbucks is right there. And sometimes they would both be packed. And I'm like, wow. That was probably the worst business decision ever, or was it? They were both making money. I haven't lived there for years, so I don't know what's going on now. But back then, I'm talking maybe like 10 years ago, they were making money. So it does not matter if you are doing the same thing as, if you have the same title as somebody else. Everything that happens with your business could be different. So you cannot give out blanket statements. But I see a lot of coaches and gurus giving out these blanket statements. Do this, do that, and you will be successful. Or they say, this is what worked for me. You can say what worked for you. You can give examples of what worked for you. But don't make it be that that's what the people that you're trying to teach. Because really all you're teaching them to be is dependent on you. You're not really teaching them how to fish. And that's the crux of today's message. What Onyx Queen Media aims to do is to teach clients how to fish. I'm not afraid of clients saying, "Ooh, I got it. I know I can roll on my own." I have no problem with that. I taught a woman 2 years ago how to create her website. I created the website for her. I walked her through everything. She was just like, "Oh my goodness, I think I can, I could be able to handle it myself." That was the whole point of teaching her. And people be like, "Well, you lost the business." Let me tell you something. It's never a loss. Because I will tell you right now, that lady independently has sent me business over and over and over and over again. I don't know how many websites I've done now for people that she has sent to me to do their website. It just keeps on going. And up until maybe a couple months ago, maybe if that, she will call me and say, "Hey, I got this person. They need a bomb website, girl. I'm sending them through to you. Here's their name. So when they call, you know who's calling." She doesn't play around. And I am so grateful for it. And I have thanked her so many times. because it's incredible that she would, and I'm just so grateful. It's incredible that she would remember me. And she could ask anybody. I'm not the only person she knows that does websites, but she knows how I work. And she knows my work is done well. And I do have team that I can outsource anytime I need it. 10 hours of an assistant or whatever it is that I need, because this is running a business for real over here. It wasn't always that way. There was a time where I didn't think, I'm like, when is this business going to be profitable? So I really had to work on that. And it took years. It took years of being out of it. Listen, there's so many things that y'all don't even know about, stuff that I have gone through in my life. Listen, this podcast is for y'all so that you can understand. And I'm going to teach you how to fish. I'm not just going to string you along and tell you, oh, well, here are the things that I do. Post 5 times a day and you will be successful. And this is what you have to do. You have to have this look or that look to be. Listen. Well, that's what you need to do. I keep saying listen, but yes, you do need to listen. Listen to your audience. Go into your insights. If you are a coach, a guru, or whatever, and you have not walked your clients through insights and analytics of their social media, you are doing them a disservice. Yes, I'm saying it. You're doing them a disservice because you're not teaching them truly how to analyze their own social media. You're not teaching them how to fish. You're teaching them to be dependent so you could just keep making money off of them. Now, true, I do have a lot of clients that are not interested in social media, who don't care about that stuff, and they just want me to run it, set it up, whatever, just do what you do, whatever, and go from there. Of course, because they don't have time. I exist because a lot of people just don't have time, and they want to run their business on the front end while we're I used to say, wear your arms and legs on the back end. And it is true. But when we have meetings, I want to really break things down with you and talk with you about how all of this works, so that you don't feel completely lost. And then another thing too that I see, and this is something that I find a lot of entrepreneurs fall into, you fall into information overload. As soon as there's a new trend, you're jumping on that. As soon as there's a new trend over here, you're jumping on that. As soon as there's a new trend over here, you're jumping on that. You keep jumping and hopping back and forth all over like a Jiminy Cricket. You're all over the place. And you don't stick with anything long enough to even see if it works. Well, I'm going to try this for a while. I'm going to try. You have no idea if that even fits your business because you don't even know your business. You have not even gotten to actually know your business. And a lot of that starts with you. First of all, take care of your business. Interact with your business. People just post and go. I see that too. People will post and then you'll never come back, and you've had comments sitting for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, a week sometimes. Sometimes you didn't even know that people commented because you don't even go back and look. Come on. It's the greatest thing when you go back to something that you've posted and somebody has commented. At least, even if you don't have a chance to write back to them, at least click the heart so you can acknowledge that you've seen the comment. And if it's a dope comment that you think should be highlighted, pin the comment. And it keeps those comments at the top. These little gestures help you interact with your people. going live at least once a week or so, if it works for your business, definitely helps. And not because going live is going to force you to make money, but going live is just another great way to connect a face with the brand. That's the point of going live. And it works well. I do it every so often. Sometimes I just put my camera on and I face it out the windshield of my car. I face it towards so when I'm driving, people see what I see. And I can see the chat. And I can answer questions as I'm driving. And a lot of times I'm driving to a client appointment or, going to the post office or whatever. It's always something so, like task of the day type thing. And I find that a lot of people love that. I don't know why, but they do. Sometimes they never see my face. Sometimes it's just me walking to my P.O. box and checking my P.O. box. And sometimes people never see my face. They just see my shoes, my sneakers, my Converse. And people be like, what kind of mail you got today? And I'm like, people care about this? Okay. Because I'm taking them, kind of day in the entrepreneurship life or whatever you want to call it. I didn't even make it anything formal. I just, it's content. Film it. Worry about all that editing later. Or you don't even have to edit. I don't edit those videos. That's literally me going live. And you see my feet walking. Come on. If somebody likes that content would never work for a lot of other people. But for some reason, people like to see it. So I do it. It don't have to make sense to me. But it just makes you more personable. I guess that's the point. So stop, coaches, strategists. Y'all know who you are. Stop panicking and teaching people to be dependent on you. Teach them how to fish. It's so much more valuable. And I'll tell you this, I have taught people how to fish for them to fly on their own, and they ended up saying, you know what? I did not know that it was this involved. I need to hire you full time. Cool. I'm happy with that. That happens a lot. Because people didn't realize how much work it really was. We were only supposed to work together, for a few months to, get them started or whatever the case may be. And they ended up saying, you know what? I need you to handle this full time. Perfect. That works too. I'm telling you again, I'm not going to stretch this out much longer. What God has for you is for you, and it will not pass you by. But the one thing that you don't have to do is string people along like you have this all-knowing knowledge. Teach people what they need to know. Share information. That is a big thing that I hear all the time. I'm going to end with this. There's a big thing that I hear all the time at my conferences and my brunches is that people don't share information. And they're shocked when I share with them tools and things that they can use to better their business. And they're like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know about this. What? Yes. We all need to improve. I learn every day. I learned about some other services the other day that I haven't tested yet, but I'm going to test them out to see how well they work. And I've never heard of these things, and I've been in this business for years. And I'm like, yo, people got apps out here. There's all kinds of apps I've never heard a word about. And I'm like, wow. All right, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to test it, see how it is. And then I come back with a good word about it and share it with people. So yeah, share the information. Teach people how to fish. You will have clients for life if you do that. But it's the what mindset are you in? Are you stringing them along and stringing them along? Or are you truly teaching them how to fish? Because people that you teach how to fish, they are going to forever bring you business down the road. If it's not from them, they're going to keep recommending you. My business grows because of recommendations. I don't do any paid ad. I don't even know the last time I did a paid ad. My paid ad is when I can say, hey, check out this particular social media. This is a social media that Onyx Queen Media has curated. Oh, wow, I love the way that looks. I would love for you to do that for me. Cool. Let's get an agreement going. So yeah, teach people how to fish, and you will be in business for a very, very long time. All right, like, share, subscribe to this podcast. Share it with somebody who you think would find it valuable, because I really would appreciate it. And let me know that you're listening. Tag me on social media at Onyx Queen Media on Instagram, and I will repost you in my stories as a shout out. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.